How are you guys doing? This is Ryan. Welcome back to the channel. In case you've been living under a rock, you probably know it's an election year. Have you already deleted all your Facebook friends that disagree on your political views yet? Today's video is going to be a very interesting one. We're going to talk about what is the stock market going to do if Joe Biden is elected president. Very interesting topic. Before we get into it, just know that this video is really not political. It's an investor's view at an election. And I don't care who you vote for, none of that means anything to me. I'm just gonna be looking at data and what I think is probable to happen if there is a change in the Oval Office this year. I hope you guys enjoy the video, so let's jump into it. So something very interesting about Joe Biden, he pledged back in the 1970s when he first became an elected official to never buy a stock or a bond. And actually back in 2014, he actually disclosed that he does not own any stocks and or bonds. Despite this, he's still a multimillionaire. He has a couple of properties in Delaware worth over $8 million. He has a federal pension worth over $1 million, and he collects a nice salary as the former vice president and different offices he's held throughout his career. So with that said, do you think he cares about which direction the stock market goes in? Before I jump into my thoughts and opinions, know that none of this is financial advice. These are just purely my opinions. And if you enjoy the content, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, give this video a thumbs up and also hit that notification bell so YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video, which is every Sunday forever. So while Joe Biden doesn't own any stocks, it is important to know that presidents really do care about the direction of the stock market. It is perceived that the stock market going up is good for the general economy. Even though some people do realize that Wall Street is very different from Main Street, where like the average man works on. It's very different than the top 500 companies. But a rising stock market does help a lot of Americans who have lots of money invested in retirement accounts and that just invest in the stock market. You have a lot of political rhetoric right now that's saying that if Biden's elected, taxes are gonna go up and it's gonna be horrible for the economy. Well, that might be true for some people. I think it is unlikely to crash the stock market, and I think the stock market will go up regardless on who is elected. But I think you really have to follow the money. Many of Joe Biden's top campaign donors are actually hedge funds and large corporations, publicly traded companies. I'll put some on the screen here. And actually, Joe Biden has more billionaires investing into his campaign than Donald Trump. It's pretty close, but they have a lot of billionaires that are investing in them. And billionaires want to continue being billionaires. If you go back and look at the last Democrat that was actually President Obama, he also accepted a lot of big money from corporations as well. I find it hard to believe that this money doesn't come with strings attached. The government is a very powerful force, and it could actually be defined as a monopolization of force. In a free market, this could be very helpful if you can corner your way into dominating a market. And having government help you do that is a lot easier. So when these large companies give money to political campaigns, it's actually an investment with an expected return. And it should come to no surprise that during the last Democratic regime, the stock market did very well. It went up 85% after President Barack Obama's first term, and it went up 53% after his second term. So very good returns. I think it went up like 7 of the 8 years he was actually president. Now again, this is not an endorsement of anything. This just goes to say, how am I going to invest moving forward? Because you have a lot of people who are honestly fearful, because I disagree with people who think a change in presidency would crash the stock market. You could always see short-term volatility, but I think in the long term, we're going up and up. And likewise, if President Trump stays in the office, I still think the stock market is gonna go up. President Trump, like other presidents before him, are almost cheerleaders for the stock market going up.
Stock market is up again. We just set another record.
We have another big record stock market day, and another record in the stock market in the history of our country, which to me means jobs and a lot of other things.
We just hit the highest number in the history of the stock market. So the stock market hit an all-time high yesterday.
The stock market is up big today.
Today, the stock market hit a new all-time high.
The NASDAQ for just this year is up 27%.
All three, we had NASDAQ, we had S&P, we had Dow.
All three. If you look, all three.
We picked up tremendous stock market and economic numbers.
The overall stock market is through the roof from the time of the election.
They actually went wild the day after I won.
Set a new record. I think it's the 22nd time this year.
I think it's like 118. I told you we have a record stock market today.
I think it's the 119th day that we've set a record.
I think that's 132 times that we've set a record. Strongest economy we've ever had. Number one. Thank you.
Reminder that was just in the space of a month.
And we've seen during this last market crash that the government will do everything it possibly can to make sure the stock market goes up. They will print money, they will buy corporate bonds. And if you're just watching all this and you're not investing in the stock market, I don't know what you're waiting for. And you'll even look at companies, and I'll put some on the screen here, they actually hedge their bets. A lot of corporations invest into both Republicans and Democrats because they want to make sure these politicians remember where the money came from when they were elected. And I'll leave another thought here, tell me if I'm crazy, but there's a reason that there's only 2 political parties. In this country, we can have thousands of different types of deodorant, but for some reason in our politics, it's either A or B. And I think this is because it's easier for big money to control 2 parties rather than 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. They make it very difficult for other parties to even get on the debate stage. They see what happened when Ross Perot was allowed in the debates back in the early 90s. He nearly stole the presidency, and it seems like they're making sure that that never happens again. This is just my observations. Let me know if you disagree with me down in the comment section. There's a reason like fringe people with passionate followings kind of got pushed out of both the Republican and Democrat parties. If you look at someone like Bernie Sanders with the Democratic Party or Ron Paul with the Republican Party. These people just seem harder to influence, and therefore the major parties may not want them to be president. So if you can't beat them, join them, invest in the stock market. These companies are buying access to the government and making sure that their stock prices and their companies grow for many, many years. And it just kind of is what it is in my opinion.
And see, I went to the big guys for the money. I was ready to prostitute myself in the manner in which I talk about it.
Now, I'm sure I'll get a lot of interesting feedback on a video like this because this video is kind of touching on politics and things like that, and it's a very polarizing topic, but as an investor, you should have a thesis when looking at the market and things that can interfere with it, like a change in a politician. Something else really to consider is that certain areas of the economy may thrive more than others if someone like Joe Biden is elected president. It is believed and stated in Joe Biden's party platform that he wants to keep things like renewable energy going, and he wants the United States to be the leader in electric vehicles. So investments like that could do better renewable energy, electric cars, greener things like that. But you can dig deeper into those kind of investments to see what kind of investments may thrive better in a Biden presidency versus a Trump presidency. I really believe in the macro trends of the market. I think stocks kind of have these 20-year bull cycles that we're in right now. And I just really believe that the tech movement and disruptive innovation is going to continue us to evolve further over the next 10 years. And no matter who is elected president, I think stocks will finally end up in a bubble at some point and become massively overvalued. That's just my own opinion again, but so I hope you guys don't lose too many friends over this political season, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. And if you found any value in the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll put my handle here. We can joke around over there and follow this election season and hopefully make wise investments during it. But I'm dying to hear your guys' feedback, so let me know what you think down in the comment section. What does it mean if Joe Biden is elected president? But that's all I got for today, guys, so I'll see you in my next one.